For 27 years, Nelson Mandela was held captive by a regime committed to racism and oppression. Today, we come to celebrate his release and his continuing mission to bring freedom and democracy to South Africa. It is my pleasure to welcome each of you to this very special convocation.
Mr. Mandela, these citations are presented to you by 30 institutions, in part because you are an inspirational force that has changed the basic course of civilization. We note that your life is the very embodiment of the meaning of a liberal education, which, after all, is to free the body, the mind, and the spirit from all forms of tyranny and slavery. These institutions, therefore, salute you. I'd like the representatives of those 30 institutions to please stand and complete the salute. We also wish to thank the 400 four-year institutions who have sent letters of greetings to Mr. Mandela. They are printed in your program. Thank you.
Deputy President Nelson Mandela, we begin by offering you a gift in reality for ourselves. We present to you, Mr. Mandela, 24-year scholarships for South African students. We offer, in addition, 2-year scholarships with a total of 24 scholarships for our sisters and brothers. Mr. Mandela, may we call you brother? I stand to speak now for 40 historically black colleges and universities. The tradition of presenting honorary degrees to individuals who have made lasting contributions to the welfare of our nation and to the world is a long one. No prior occasion, however, can match the significance of what we are about to do. We join together in an unprecedented manner as academic institutions to confer jointly the degrees of Doctor of Humane Letters and Doctor of Laws honoris causa to Nelson Mandela, voice Nelson Mandela, voice of universal human franchise. In awarding the degree, it is customary to present a doctoral hood bearing the conferring institution's colors. In lieu, our dear brother, of offering hoods from the many institutions that are today presenting these degrees, each institution has contributed a fabric patch on which its official seal is represented. These patches are incorporated into a commemorative patchwork quilt. This quilt represents a righteous womanist act done to wrap a people in warmth. Done to wrap a people in warmth from the coldness of oppression. For all that his life and his living of it have meant for the children, women, and men of a conflict-ridden world. For all that his presence today in this land bespeaks of that which unites African peoples. For all that his steadfastness tells us of his love for his people, we offer him our love, our respect, our praise. We ask that the 40 presidents and their representatives awarding this degree would at this moment raise your right hand. Mr. Mandela, upon the recommendations of the respective faculties and by vote of the representative governing bodies of the conferring institutions, I have the honor of presenting to you, Nelson Mandela, the degrees of Doctor of Humane Letters and Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Please accept this quilt as a symbol of the honor that historically black colleges and universities pay to you as an emblem of the honor that your life brings to us. Mr. Mandela.
Dr. Mandela will now address the body.
Mr. Mayor, distinguished scholars, presidents, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, friends, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, how can we express our deep appreciation for the outpouring of hospitality and love that has been extended to us today? How can we thank you for holding so high the banner of fraternity towards my delegation, my wife, myself, and our organization, the African National Congress? How shall we encapsulate this overwhelming familial embrace that has enveloped us here in your lovely historical city and everywhere we have visited since we came to your great country? Our release from jail and the unbanning of the ANC is the result of the sacrifices and courageous campaigns of our people. But it is also your active engagement in the struggle against apartheid that has brought us to this moment. It is fitting that you have decided to honor us here in this fashion at a public gathering of the people in Atlanta. This gathering is a further demonstration of your concrete support for the cause of liberation and peace for all people of South Africa. It exemplifies the spirit of unity in action, which has propelled our movement. It is an explicit statement of identification with our cause that so many historical black colleges joined in this marvelous effort. Above all, it is a lesson on how academia should be of relevance to the economic, social, and political issues that impinge on the life of the community. It provides us with an opportunity to thank the many universities internationally who have awarded us with honorary degrees throughout the years of our imprisonment. The ANC has accepted those on my behalf, and today I have the pleasure to voice my deep appreciation in the name of my organization and the struggling people of South Africa, to whom I have dedicated my remaining years. We view this not only as an honor to me, but as a tribute to the spirit of no surrender, of courage and determination by the struggling people of South Africa your people. We have spoken everywhere during our visit of how much our people have been spurred by the achievements of great African Americans in terms of scholarship, of sports, of culture, of politics. Indeed, in all aspects, a catalogue of names is always evoked. Despite the attempt of our oppressors to suppress black achievement, Joe Louis, Paul Robeson, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and many others have at one time or another lit up our lives with pride and reaffirmed our belief in the strength and beauty that is possible even under the greatest adversity. We know that you too have followed the path of the lives and careers of our peoples and take pride in the achievements of our great men and women. Our President, Oliver Tambo, has told us of how Atlanta embraced him and received him as a son. You have also taken to your hearts many of our writers, scholars, and others who have had occasion to be among you. In this context, I would like to say that the achievement of a united, non-racial, non-sexist, and democratic South Africa, freedoms come only through persistent revolt, through persistent agitation, through persistently rising up against the system of evil, unquote. We are inspired by your drive and determination to possess this precious weapon. Your endeavors, despite indescribable obstacles, have yielded great results. You have been able to increase the capacity of African Americans to participate actively and creatively in most spheres of American life. You have, to an admirable degree, managed to thwart those who would ensure the ideology of white supremacy by deliberately retarding black development. In South Africa, that battle has been raging for generations, and yet has only just begun. The ideas of Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, W.B. Du Bois, George Washington Carver, Langston Hughes, Benjamin Banneker, and many others must permeate our society so that they can be reflected in the light of the South African experience. Ultimately, the creation and development of any society depends on the acquisition of knowledge and expertise in all fields. Today in South Africa, the evil system of apartheid is crumbling, and our movement is preparing to enter into negotiations with the government. But we have not by any means achieved freedom yet. The apartheid system is still intact. I still cannot vote in South Africa, and the forces of racism and backwardness hope to revive the counterpart in our motherland. Of the dying institution, the Ku Klux Klan. It is a last-ditch effort to stay the tide of progress. That is why we must keep the pressure on apartheid. Economic sanctions must be maintained until apartheid is dismantled. Simultaneously, we must join hands to use the legal space we have won in order to undo the destruction wreaked on our land by apartheid. We must begin now on a process of reconstruction through development projects. In this way, we can ensure that our people can play an effective role in the transformation of South African society. Paramount in this is that our people, must be able to participate in political activity. The ANC is expected to provide a concrete alternative to apartheid. This can only be done through the establishment and running of an efficient political organization that will reach all the corners of South Africa. Since the South African government controls a large part of the resources in our country, the ANC needs your help to fulfill the aspirations of our people. Central to the achievement of our own liberation is the issue of education. Since the Soweto uprisings and massacres of 1976, schools in the oppressed communities have been in disarray because of systematic mismanagement by the education authorities. Thousands of school children roam the streets. Although highly endowed white schools remain vacant, an impressive network of people's education centers has been established, but they are a drop in the ocean of black educational needs, which are vast and far-reaching. Your magnificent effort that has yielded so many pledges for educational opportunities for our youth is greatly appreciated. It will go a long way in providing much-needed assistance in an area of acute shortage. Through projects presently being discussed, we hope to engage you further in efforts to accelerate technical training, preschool education, and retraining of teachers. No doubt, the area of literacy is also an urgent one that bears overwhelming implications on any future political developments. We are greatly impressed by the variety of black historical colleges. In particular, our country has no higher educational institution for women only. The existence of Spelman and Bennett colleges certainly represents an interesting perspective for our country. In South Africa, black women suffer a disproportionately heavy burden of oppression as a gender group, a race, and as workers. We are seized with the issue of women's rights. The ANC is committed to the equality of women and determined and determined that they must be empowered to make their contribution to the creation of a new South Africa. In October, the ANC Women's League will be launched, and our women also need assistance in their effort. Brothers and sisters, in thanking you again for the honors you have just awarded to us and for your support over the years, we must stress how much we are moved by your solidarity. We celebrate with you that we can say with confidence, our struggle has not been in vain. We are certain that we will harvest together the fruit of freedom, watered by the blood of our fallen heroes. Amandla.
Mr. Mandela, on behalf of all the historical black colleges and the community of Atlanta, we'll be forever grateful for you taking time out from your busy schedule to appear here in this historic convocation. And beside every great man is a great woman. I would like for Mrs. Winnie Mandela to stand. And say hello to the crowd.
Amanda! 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 Distinguished guests, Madam, my sister here, brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for this opportunity to let me say a few words. I will thank the Deputy President of the ANC for the revelation that the ANC is committed to the equality of women. Thank you, sir. We are very grateful to be here, my comrades. As the Deputy President has already spoken to you, I haven't words to thank you for your warmth, your hospitality. All I just wish to say is that we are here because, like every parent, at the end of the day, since we are walking the last mile towards our freedom, at the end of the day, we collect our families and we go back home. We are here to tell you that thank you very much for being with us in our struggle for our freedom. Thank you very much for restoring our dignity. Thank you very much for all the demonstrations you made. This is why today our Deputy President can stand here in front of you, and that is why the leadership of the African National Congress today is amongst us to lead us in the last lap in this journey to peace and freedom, democracy and unity in our country. Amandla! Amandla!
Please remain standing and join in the singing of God Bless Africa.